So check it out right here. You can see we're playing Fortnite at 1440p and 144 FPS. Everything looks great. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the KOORUI 27E1Q gaming monitor. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box and packaging right here. Check it out. Everything looks great. Really like the fun design that they have on the box. So this is a 27-inch gaming monitor. It features an IPS panel with a 1 millisecond response time, up to 144 Hertz refresh rate, and 1440p resolution. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have a customer service and contact card, followed by a quick start guide walking us through how to set up everything and get the stand installed. Next, you can see we have a full user guide and manual right here walking us through the contents in different languages. We can learn about the brand, functions of the menu, our product information, what's included, all the different menu settings that we have for this monitor, FAQ section, a bunch of safety information and regulatory notices, and then everything repeats again in those multiple languages. Next, you can see we have one included DisplayPort cable, one power cable and cord right here, just your universal and generic power cable. Then you can see the stand that we have. It's in 2 pieces, so check this out. Everything looks really nice. I like the blue accent up there. Definitely feels like it's made out of high quality parts and components, so it does have a premium feel and it's got a good weight to it. You can see on our support legs right here, we have nice grip feet, and it's going to be a toolless installation, thanks to this little lever right there. But if you wanted to use a Phillips head or flathead screwdriver, technically you could. And last but not least, we have the monitor. Let's go ahead, let's look at that in more detail. So check out the monitor up close. Everything looks great. Basically a bezel-less design. You can see just a sliver, a really small piece of plastic all around it. And then I can put my finger on the display. I can see where the screen actually stops. So you will have a slight bezel once you actually power on the monitor as well. But it looks really, really nice. You can see their logo and branding, all of our menu buttons and controls. We'll turn it around so you can see it from right here, all of our buttons. You can see HDMI 1.4, HDMI 2.0, DisplayPort, and audio, and our power port. We can flip it around to the back side so you can see our Kensington security lock. We do have a VESA mount option if we want, but pay attention to how deep everything sits in there to make sure that your mounting arm or stand is compatible. Their logo and branding, really cool design and pattern along the back. I think this looks really nice. I love the blue accent. Now let's go ahead, let's look at it from the top. You can see some ventilation right here and get a feel for how thick this monitor is. We can see it from the sides too. So pretty slim design overall. Now let's go ahead, let's get the stand installed. So to get the stand assembled, you don't need any tools. We can just use our finger in that bolt and fasten everything in place. So you can see it's only gonna fit one way, just like so. It's gonna drop down. And now we can just tighten it up the rest of the way right here. So you can see we're getting it nice and snug, and eventually we'll be able to not turn it any further. And there you go. You can see everything's fully attached. It's not going to go anywhere. And we're ready now to attach it to the monitor itself. So we're going to line up everything right here. We got these 3 tabs that are going to go right there. And then it's just going to snap right in place, just like so. And now we're ready to lift the monitor up. If for some reason we want to remove the stand for storage, or we're going to put a different stand on it, just lift this tab and lever and then repeat the process and pull it back off. But here we go. You can see everything is assembled now and it looks great. There's our minimum height. Here's our maximum height. We also have a swivel with this, so we can swivel it some to the left and to the right, which is really, really nice. So you can see that swivel. Then we have our tilt. We can tilt it down. That's our max tilt down. And here's our max tilt up. You can see that from the side right here. Max tilt up, here's our max tilt down. And you can actually adjust the viewing angle as well. So if you don't want to have your horizontal viewing, you can also view your monitor in portrait mode. So there we go. We can twist that to the left or to the right. We have both options right here, whatever you prefer. And we can still do a swivel and we can still do a tilt even in this viewing mode. So it's a really versatile stand that's easy to assemble with no tools required, and it gives us maximum utility with all the configuration options that we would want. So now you can see we got the monitor plugged in and powered on, and everything looks great. Let's bring up that menu so you can see our different options right here: language, game, mode, color temp, our aspect, our inputs, other, and reset. So reset, simple enough. If you want to reset the monitor, you can do that right there. Next up, let's look at other really quickly, and let's see the settings we have. So power off, so we can choose different power off options. So we can look at that. You can see on or off right there. And then we can go back. And then we have other options too. So we can change gamma as well as volume. Now this doesn't have built-in speakers, but you can adjust the volume from your input source. And then you can see we have our input options, our aspect if we need to adjust anything with the display, our color temperatures right here, so we can look at that really quickly. Cool, warm, user, or our DCI-P3 setting, whatever we prefer. Let's go back. And then you can see we have more options right here. So next up we have our mode settings. So let's select our mode setting. Then you can see we got standard, movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver, depending on our preference. Let's go back. Then you can see we have our game settings right here. So you can see we can turn on our crosshairs if we want, FreeSync, timer, HDR. We have multiple options right there depending on what we're after. And then last but not least, you can see we have some language settings. So we can go ahead, we can select those. You can see all the different language options we have for this monitor. Now you can see we got an image up on the monitor, and I wanted to walk through our different mode settings. So first up, you can see we have standard mode. That's what we're currently in. Now we're gonna change it to movie. Then we have FPS, RTS, and our iSaver. So let's go through those one more time. Standard, movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver. Now you can see we got a video up on the screen, and we're going to look through those same mode settings again. So currently we're in standard. Here's movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver right there. Let's go back to standard again. Now let's look at movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver. So they each tweak the image a little bit differently, and you can just pick the one that best suits your preferences and needs. Now we have the studio lights on, so we can look at the settings again. So here's standard, here's movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver. We'll do that one more time. So here's standard, movie, FPS, RTS, and iSaver. So now you can see what it's like to browse the web with this monitor. We have the Verge pulled up on our web browser, and you can see it's very responsive and fluid. Everything looks great. It's working great, very clear and crisp. Now let's go ahead. Let's just choose an article so you can see how everything loads with all the different fonts and styles and how easy it is to read everything, comfortable. So if you're spending a lot of time looking at this display, doing coding, web browsing, social media work, you'll enjoy having that 27-inch real estate, but also a really nice, enjoyable viewing experience, especially thanks to 1440p resolution. It definitely makes a difference on a larger size display like this 27-inch monitor. You can see same thing for browsing YouTube. Everything's really clear. It's responsive, easy to read. Crisp is the best way I can describe it. No issues at all if you want to use this monitor to browse the web. Now you can see our UFO test on the screen to get a feel for what it's like to use this monitor at 144 Hertz with 144 FPS. That's our first value at the top, followed by 72 FPS at the middle and 36 at the bottom. So you can see it's a noticeable difference as we increase that FPS value with this high refresh rate monitor. It looks buttery smooth as the alien goes across the screen along that top row. There's no stuttering, staggering, or anything else like you would see with that bottom value. And maybe a little bit with the 72 FPS, but it's definitely noticeable in person how good the 144 Hertz refresh rate looks with a high FPS game if you were going to be using this for gaming. You will really enjoy the 1440p and 144 hertz refresh rate. Now it's time for one of my favorite tests. We're gonna be testing out the input lag on this monitor. Now keep in mind, input lag is different from response time. Response time is gonna measure the amount of time it takes from a pixel to change from a gray to a gray, a black to the white, that sort of thing. So this has a 1 millisecond response time. But with input lag, we're gonna measure the amount of delay between when basically a signal is sent and when it's displayed on the monitor. So that's what we're doing with this device. We're sending a signal through HDMI to our display and we're measuring the delay. So here we go. You can see right up here, our lag is gonna be 1.2 milliseconds. The value will increase as we go further down due to how the monitor refreshes. 9.1. And then you can see at the bottom, should be around 16 or so. And there you go, you can see 16.4, 16.5. So the input lag for this monitor is gonna be 1.2 milliseconds. And you definitely want to have that be a lower value. 1.2 is great if you're gonna be using this for some competitive gaming. You wanna make sure you have that input lag as low as possible. So nothing is out of sync with your keyboard, your mouse, your controller, or anything like that. So check it out right here. You can see we're playing Fortnite at 1440p and 144 FPS. Everything looks great. We have the high graphics settings too. You can see very fluid gameplay. Everything's very responsive on this monitor. And the colors look really nice. Come on. Got him. Yeah, let's go. A team effort. All right. Let's go, baby. Here he is. Oh, we're out of ammo. Got him. Got him. Heck yeah, let's go, baby. So I'm really having a good time gaming on this monitor. Very fluid, super responsive, and the resolution with that high FPS count definitely makes it a very enjoyable experience. And you can see even, look as I move really fast back and forth, very, very responsive. Now, just remember, having a nice gaming monitor does not equal actually being good at a game. So let me share with you my final thoughts in regards to this monitor. First and foremost, I've had a great experience using it. Nothing weird, no issues to report back to you guys with the quality, so I'm very pleased with it. I think the stand is probably one of my favorite features. One, it's so easy to set up with the tool-free design. I don't know why all brands and manufacturers don't do that. And two, they give us full functionality with the stand. We can adjust the height, we can tilt it, swivel, pivot, rotate the screen 90 degrees. You can do so much with it. And it's still V-mount compatible. If for some reason you do want to swap it out with your own stand, you can do that. In regards to the rest of the design and aesthetic, I think the back looks amazing. Unfortunately, I won't spend much time looking at the back, but I like the design and the changes that they made on the back with their pattern and the nice blue accent. In regards to the front, it looks just like any other, generic 27-inch monitor on the market today. But I do appreciate they followed suit with that thin bezel design. I'd like to see the screen go even further to the end of the display, but this is still pretty slim. So if you want to have two monitors side by side, that won't be a stumbling block for you. In regards to actual image quality, nothing wrong with it. I think the 1440p resolution and 144 hertz is definitely the sweet spot on the market today. If your PC or console can handle it, you'll really enjoy the image quality on here, especially because it's an IPS panel, so we get that great color accuracy. Other than that, you might be asking, well, hey, what do you want to see improved, or what feedback would you offer, or changes you want to make? Well, I'm glad you asked. I think the biggest thing is I would personally like to have built-in speakers. I think that would make the value a little bit higher, much better value proposition. I know most people are probably using their own gaming headphones or external speakers, but I am always in the camp that I'd rather have the speakers and not use them than need the speakers and not have them. Other than that, maybe some USB ports on there, maybe USB Type-C would be cool. And then a little dabble of RGB would be fun. I'd like to see that. But some of that stuff's going to increase the price point. And at its current price point, it's definitely towards the lower end in regards to price. So the value is there as it currently sits on the market. So it's really a good deal if you're looking for that 1440p 144 hertz refresh rate. You'll enjoy the experience on this monitor and what you're paying for it. So there are more on the market that are more expensive. There are a couple that maybe would be right around this, give or take $5 or $10, but it's got a solid price point for what it's offering you if you're looking for a nice gaming monitor, or even just a monitor to use for browsing the web, content creation, and maybe some casual and light gaming. You'll really enjoy the experience with this monitor like I have. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.